Hello everyone. So the first episode in the Legacy of the First Blade DLC is out, and that being the case, I figured I'd review it. Because it's content, but it's also worth talking about, so I guess let's start the video now. So, with the release of this first DLC episode for Odyssey, I am somewhat pleasantly surprised, as this first DLC storyline has avoided some of the issues I had with Odyssey's base game. The main issue being the lack of connection to the rest of the franchise. While the main game only really brushed up against the first Civ elements in some capacity, the first Blade touches more closely to the Assassin's part of the lore, namely the presence of Darius, the first known wielder of the Hidden Blade, as well as the presence of the Order of Ancients, who were a precursor group to the Templars. However, the new DLC moving closer to the Assassins has created some new issues, namely with Darius. Because Darius was a character that existed hundreds of years before Bayek created the Brotherhood, yet in his depiction he is the definition of an assassin. He wears the hooded robes. He was a part of a Brotherhood. He knowingly was in a fight against the Order of Ancients in his Brotherhood that he had. He had a bureau in the mountains, and for what it's worth, he even wore the same type of leather pauldron that a lot of prominent assassins wore. And this just causes issues with me, because it does not make sense that a character hundreds of years before the Brotherhood was created would have an identical set of ideologies and act on them in the identical practices of the Assassins, and be in a smaller Brotherhood, but with identical opposition to the Templars, but all of this be hundreds of years before the Assassins were created, and have no impact in their creation by their ideologies or how they operated in any way. It just flies completely in the face of the lore, kind of in that way. So it just doesn't make sense. But, on a more positive note, the story was a bit of a highlight. I mean, it made me ask questions about things that happened, Darius' backstory, where he came from, was he part of the Order of Ancients and then left because he didn't agree with them or something? But it didn't feel all that sensible near the end. I didn't really get how Darius was a traitor, as he did what he thought was right, and then his friends from his Brotherhood decided to change sides and hunt him and his family down and kill most of his family. And somehow, he's a traitor. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't know. I don't think I am. I think it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I did like the parts where the story questioned the morality of using Pieces of Eden and the benefits given by First Civ DNA to kill people to reach goals, though it was done a bit bluntly. I think there were probably more subtle ways. I'm not really questioning storytelling, but there are probably more subtle ways to do this and go about posing this moral question than just having the main antagonist adorn a tree with dead bodies like it's Christmas time and it's a lovely little Christmas tree of dead bodies. It just, I don't know. Is there not a more subtle way to do that? Am I wrong? I don't think I am, but I mean, I guess that was part of the story, but like, it just seems like it was kind of a very, very blunt way to go around asking that question in the story. It didn't seem very subtle to me. But I guess to wrap things up here, give my kind of like little summary opinion, I think the Legacy of the First Blade has some decidedly good points, but it also at times flies in the face of the lore and can be a bit blunt, you know? But I mean, that's just my opinion. Let me know yours down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.